We are in a position right now to develop a media powerhouse that will overtake the entire media industry, which has collapsed because of their outright lies and hypocrisy that people have decided not to pay for, to listen to. So the jobs for journalists have collapsed, and there are plenty of writers and thoughtful people, I think, maybe, who would like to take advantage of this void. Now, it's important to recognize that the American culture has developed an irrational, deranged, arrogant hypocrisy that is typified by the delusional denial of systemic crime by the most powerful. And they have the courts cloaked in their robes protecting these powerful people who are, for instance, taking bribes in broad daylight. And the courts, with the Citizen United case, the Supreme Court of the United States has authorized this bribe system with this decision. Now, you have to understand that supposing they made a law that rape was fine, except we won't call it rape, we'll call it cuddling. You can just cuddle and take advantage of another person by raping them, and it'll be legal, and that'll be the law. And would there be a group of rapists who pay off, who bribe the Congress to write the law and then have it in court up to the Supreme Court and then get the Supreme Court to authorize this law? Probably not. Probably not. But you can have plenty of extremely rich people who will bribe the Congress to create laws that will eliminate having to pay taxes. And as a matter of fact, the Bush tax cut created $4.5 trillion to these people who bribed Bush and bribed the Congress to allow these, they call them loopholes, to get away without paying $4.5 trillion in taxes. Now, of course, they just put that on the debt. So they transferred the $4.5 trillion from their own pocket into the public, the citizens, who just keep on re-electing the same crooks. It's a crime family. We actually have a crime family running the United States. And it's done in broad daylight. And the hypocrisy just flourishes. So don't you think it's possible that there may be some people who are looking to expose this incredible amount of hypocrisy with actual news stories? I'll give you a for instance. Take the Jodi Arias case. It's supposed to be a trial, a fair trial under the Sixth Amendment for a defendant that may or may not be guilty. That's the point of the trial. She testified. I watched her. Did she lie before? Of course. She admitted that she lied. Unlike these hypocrites, they don't admit that they lie. So I believe that every word she said under oath was absolutely the truth. I believe that Jodi Arias was so completely crazy and out of her mind that she would just let this guy, Travis Alexander, perform any type of sexual act he decided with her. And it's funny because she's a very attractive lady, and plenty of men would just love to have an opportunity to date Jodi Arias. And if she decided to give them any kind of sexual pleasures they wanted, I guess that would be frosting on the cake. But anyway, after leaving this guy, because he pounded her into the ground, kicked her, punched her, she went back to him again. She just couldn't get enough of this guy. And she dropped a camera. She was taking pictures of him in the shower that he wanted her to take. And she dropped his brand new camera, and he flipped out, went into a rage, charged her, and told her that he was going to kill her. So she tried to defend herself and knew that he had kept a gun on top of a shelf in his closet. She grabbed this gun thinking that that would stop him. And evidently it didn't stop him, and she pulled the trigger. And from that point on, and I believe absolutely she's telling the truth, she blanked out and had amnesia. Now, one indication that she blanked out is that the camera that she dropped was found in a washing machine. Now, who in the world would throw a camera in a washing machine? What possible reason could anybody have to do that? None. So obviously she was out of her mind. Now, on top of shooting this guy with his gun, she stabbed him 29 times. Now, was she stabbing him because she's this vicious person? Well, if she is, she sure fooled me, because I don't think she would hurt a fly. She just went off her rocker and just was basically stabbing a carcass. And then she left. She just left with the gun and drove to Utah to meet another guy. And she ditched this gun. So if she was really going there to murder Travis Alexander with a presence of mind of ditching the gun, wouldn't she just ditch the camera there too? Why leave the camera in a washing machine? You see? So anyway, I'm watching this on HLN, and the HLN people, just like they did in the Casey Anthony case, were trying to convict Casey Anthony, who was also innocent, and now trying to convict this Jodi Arias. And the people who watch the HLN broadcasts with Nancy Grace and Vinnie Politan and some of these other people are just in a complete trance, and they go online and they make comments on Facebook on the pages that HLN and Nancy Grace have, and just want to skin this woman alive. They're completely convinced that she's guilty. You see? Now, is she getting a fair trial? Of course not. The jury isn't sequestered like they were in the Casey Anthony case. And I'm watching this judge allow the prosecution to do anything it wants and to stomp on the defense. So, this is just one issue, one case that a person who has a clear mind can watch and report on. And believe me, there's a huge audience for this Jodi Arias case, as there was a huge audience for the Casey Anthony case. And there's a huge audience for the 9/11 case. And there's a huge audience for sports and all kinds of things. So the point I'm getting at is we can get a group of journalists to collaborate who can report by using videos. This is just like having my own little TV station, this YouTube video thing. And we can have interviews with people and so on and so forth. And the public who wants their news to be honest and above board will pay for it. And it'll all be provided through the internet, through a website that we will create. And this is what I would like the collaborators who met last Saturday on Spring Street in New York City in a bar which was so loud that nobody could hardly have a conversation, to consider this proposal for a future meeting in the very near future in a place that's quiet where we can sit down at tables and let me present this idea and take questions and proceed from there. And I believe there's a tremendous opportunity to make a ton of money legitimately by exposing this government that is completely corrupt and exposing this hypocrisy. Especially, look at the budget. I mean, talk about a hypocrisy. And they just want to just blow money on weapons and all kinds of crazy stuff, you see. And if anybody opposes blowing trillions of dollars for weapons that we won't even use, they're attacked as unpatriotic, you see. We all know that. And that's how ridiculous it is. So, let's see where this goes. Thank you.